In 2011, three successful and highly educated women fell head over heels for the same man whom they had met online. But the so-called Ethan Schumann was not who he claimed to be. They learned he was catfishing all three of them, and as they discovered later, many others.
One of the victims is sharing her story in a new book, There Is No Ethan, How Three Women Caught America's Biggest Catfish. Anna Akbari, who is a sociologist, writer, and speaker, joins us now. Anna, thank you for being with us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Gosh, you know, this whole phenomenon has exploded. You know, we've seen the Catfish show on MTV. We just saw this whole Tinder swindler. I mean, every single one of these women that are featured, everybody's a sharp person. Everyone and think this could never happen to me. How does this happen?
Yeah, well, I think it happens due to a couple of things. First of all, technology really obfuscates reality in a way where it doesn't matter how shrewd you are, you too can be taken advantage of. And, you know, of course, in a technologically mediated world, appearances are reality, and it's simply not possible to verify everything someone tells us in real time. So I think technology is part of it. And the other is that, as you know, we talk about a lot culturally, we do have a crisis of connection where it's increasingly harder to form real, meaningful connections. And so I think when someone presents themselves as someone who is inclined toward that and, you know, does everything that's necessary to accelerate that connection, that can be very hard to resist.
So as the online relationship went on, there wasn't, you know, a request for money. This was not kind of your typical catfishing scheme. But at what point did alarm bells start going off? Did the story start falling apart?
Yeah, well, it started to set off some alarm bells fairly early for me because this internet predator made the mistake of saying that they went to some schools where I had friends who had gone to those particular schools during those years. So I was already sort of investigating, but I was still forming a very real connection with this person. But where it really started to unfold was a few weeks in when they told me that they had just been diagnosed with cancer. And that's when I knew that I had to prove some things or step away.
Wow. And so I know you connected with other women who had also been duped by this person, and to take them down, we'll get to that in a second. But I'm just curious, what's in it for this person? Did you ever figure that out if there was no money? What's the end goal?
I mean, that is a terrific question. And it's really at the heart of why I wrote this book, because if someone is not getting money or some sort of immediate physical gratification, then you have to wonder. And also, as one of the victims, you think, well, of course this must be true, because why would anyone lie about this? They aren't getting one of those two things. And that is really the question that I try to explore, especially toward the end of this book, in that, you know, what else could someone want? And, you know, that particular person, the person animating Ethan, of course, has said, oh, they were bored or sort of made up excuses. But I believe it's something deeper. I think for some people, it is about power. People do get off on manipulating and emotionally exploiting other human beings. And that is a truth that's kind of difficult for us to make sense of.
So how did you catch this person? Who was it? And how did you guys get together?
Well, I can say that the universe was really not on Ethan Schumann's side after a certain point, because through a crazy series of serendipitous events, I was able to link up with another woman who was also engaged in conversations with a man named Ethan Schumann. And through her and through the Easter eggs that this person had left. So this is something that many manipulators will do, is they mix fact and fiction. So we had to sort of parse out what was real and what wasn't. And using those clues, we were able to find another victim. And once we all linked up within 24 hours, we were able to discern who was behind it. And that was a shock that none of us were prepared for. And I don't know if you want me me to give it away, or if that would be a spoiler if anyone reads the book.
It is an amazing twist. Let's leave it as a tease, but well worth the read. In the end, was there gratification in outing this person and confronting this person?
Yes and no. We've been trying to make this person be held accountable for their actions, not only to us, but to all 10 of the victims that we've found so far. And so far, this person has not suffered any real repercussions. And when you become aware of what they do for a living in the industry that they're operating in, that's especially disturbing. And so it's my hope that eventually, perhaps due to this book, all of that will catch up to them. So yes, it's satisfying, but honestly, only partially, until they're really forced to reckon with what they've done.
Well, it's fascinating. The book is There Is No Ethan, How Three Women Caught America's Biggest Catfish. You can get more at Anna's website and follow her on social media. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.